Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about rules for four-part writing. There are rules must follow. Number 1, avoid parallel fifths and octaves. Number 2, never double the leading note. Number 3, avoid augmented intervals such as augmented second, augmented fourth, and augmented fifth. Number 4, avoid voice overlapping. Number 5, avoid cross relation or false relation. And number 6, avoid doubling the third of a major chord. There are more rules. Let's look at some examples. What's wrong with this? The first chord is a C major chord. We have C, C, E, G. The tenor keeps near the middle C region, which is correct because tenor like high voice. The second chord is incorrect because we can see alto and tenor is more than an octave. And there is a rule that only tenor and bass can be more than an octave. The third chord is also correct because we can see tenor and bass is more than an octave. It is okay. G, G, B, D. But the fourth chord is incorrect because alto and tenor is more than an octave. At the same time, tenor and bass are too close, and it will cause a muddy sound. What about this? Let's look at bar 1. This is a C chord, C, C, E, G. But this is incorrect because the tenor is higher than the alto, and we call it voice overlapping. This is a mistake. Second chord is C, E, G, C. We can see again this alto and tenor is more than an octave. This is also a mistake. The third chord, we can see a soprano and the alto is more than an octave. So it is a mistake because soprano and alto must be within an octave. And also when we read the chord tones, C, 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 G, the third is missing. We cannot omit the third of a chord because in the major chord, the third is like the heart. If we don't have a heart, we cannot survive. The next chord has two thirds, C, E, E, G. That means we have two hearts. Two hearts means abnormal. So we cannot double the third of a major chord. The last example is, again, C, 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 G. You may ask, where is your heart? So just remember, do not omit the third of a chord. There are some exceptional applications. People may ask, when can we break the rules? If you want to avoid consecutives or parallel octaves, fifths, then you may consider to break some of the rule. Or to produce certain sound effect, then you may break the rule. Let's begin with root position of four-part writing. Root position in the bass, primary chords 1, 4, 5, or secondary chords 2, 3, 6, we will double the root. F, F, A, C, B flat, B flat, D, F. C, C, E, G. The two chord is G, G, B flat, D. A, A, C, E. D, D, F, A. And when we come to the seventh chord, which is a diminished chord, we never double the leading note. So we cannot double the root. E, G, G, B, double the third will be the better choice. There is another option for 2, 3, 6 chord, that is the secondary chords. We can choose to double the third, such as G, B flat, D, A, C, C, E, D, F, F, A. But again, when we go to the diminished chord, never double the leading note. That's very important. because it will cause parallels. Here is a question for you. Is base equivalent to root? Is base equivalent to root? Sometimes yes, but not all the time. When we have a chord, the root is in the base, then base is equal to root. But sometimes we can have first inversion or second inversion. That means the third or the fifth in the base. So our answer is base is not necessarily equals to root. Just take note of these two terms. Here are some rules for doubling, and it is very, very important when we do four-part writing. Look at 1-4-5 chord, the primary chords. When it is in root position or first inversion, we will just double the root. Double the root. And the root are the first, fourth, and the fifth of the scale degree, which are very important. When we come to second inversion, that means 1C, 4C, or 5C, there is a must. Must double the fifth. No other choice. Must double the fifth in the second inversion of 1-4-5 chord. Secondary chords 2, 3, 6, we will double the third as the first priority in root position. Then sometimes we can choose to double the root. But if it is in first inversion, we will choose to double the third most of the time. Double the third is a good choice because the third of all these chords are the tonal degrees, which is the first, the fourth, and the fifth degree of the scale. For second inversion, we don't apply for 2, 3, 6 chord. That means there is no 2C, 3C, or 6C. The diminished chord, we will just have one choice, that is to double the third. That is the best choice. And we don't use the second inversion either. So just remember, never, never, never double the leading note. The next question is, which note can be omitted? The answer is the fifth. The fifth can be either doubled or omitted. It is a bit flexible. Now let's look at four-part in first inversion. First inversion means the third of the chord in the bass. So F major, F is the tonic, and now it's the root of the chord. Double the root, F, F, A, C. The A is the third in the bass. 4B, B flat, B flat, D. D is the third in the bass. And then we have the fifth here. 5B is C, C, E, G. The E is the leading note. We cannot double it. We go ahead and double the root. So 1B, 4B, 5B, we always double the root. 2B, 3B, 6B, and 7B, double the third, means first inversion. G, B flat, B flat, D, A, C, C, E, D, F, F, A, and this E, G, G, B flat. Four-part in second inversion. That means the fifth of the chord in the bass. And the rule of the second inversion is must double the fifth. We will just use 1C, 4C, and 5C. The other chords not applied. F major, 1C, F, A, C, C. This is the fifth, doubling the fifth. 4C, B flat, D, F, F. The fifth in the bass and double it. 5C, C, E, G, G. So double the fifth. So in this video, we have learned the rules for four-part writing, rules for doubling, and the A, B, C position of all the four-part chords. In the next video, we'll be talking about cadences, which means musical punctuations. Thanks for watching and see you next time.